Well, hello. Welcome to Old Kenny's photography channel here. I'm not getting to make a lot of photography videos. This COVID virus has us slowed down a lot. But I got to get out yesterday and get some landscapes, some really beautiful shots over the water and the clouds and everything. And I got to thinking about the lens that I used most of the time. And I started out, I took a few shots with my zoom lens, and I said, man, this looks so good out here. Let's get the wide angle on. And I've talked about this lens a little bit in a couple videos. My favorite wide angle lens is the Tokina 12 to 28 millimeter f4 lens. Now, as you know, I'm a crop sensor shooter, and this lens is made for crop sensor only. So it's the equivalent of a 18 to 56, when you take in the crop factor. But this is a good lens. It gets a little bit of bad rap about soft corners. I've never noticed anything that would take away from the picture at all. I know some people like to get the 11 to 16 or get the 2.8 lens, but f4 is great for what I do, and I even do portrait stuff with this, and you'll get to see some pictures. This is it's a nice, well built. It's not light. It's a reasonably heavy lens. It's got 12 to 28, so it's got some range on it, and that's what I liked about it. I need versatility in my shooting. Like I said, I may want to shoot a portrait with this, and it's fine because I don't get a lot of distortion unless I really get super close. And I shoot at the 12 millimeter spot, and then you can get distortion. But it's a very versatile lens. You can walk around with it and get really good photos, just anything. One thing, this is a good quality lens. It's got the metal mounting bracket. It's got the rubber O-ring for dust and moisture. So this is a good package. The 77 millimeter thread size, so it's pretty big. Yesterday, the photos that you're going to see later in this video, yesterday I was using my CPL filter. So I had 77 millimeter CPL filter, helped make the clouds pop a little bit, and I like that sharpening effect and the clarity that a CPL gives me for that kind of photo. I don't use them a lot, but for those kind of landscapes where I got clouds and stuff, I love it. Now, in this first part of the video, as soon as I get done running my mouth, I'm going to show you how I used it in a portrait setting. I'll show you some pictures of a friend of mine from Pakistan. When I was over in China, I knew people from all kinds of nationalities, and one day we decided to do a shoot with a boy. His name is Ali. He's a good buddy. He's had a motorcycle, and we wanted to do some shots posing with the motorcycle. And so we went out of town, out of Zhenjiang, out of town a little ways late in the afternoon, and we got some really good photos. And I wanted to do something really different with the photos, so when you see them, you'll see how I kind of stylistically altered the editing a little bit. And so I got different kinds of different looks, but they were all shot with this lens. And so you can see that it takes really good photos. So you'll see that first, and so we'll kind of carry on, and I'll come back and I'll finish up, and I'll tell you about the next set of photos that I took yesterday, and you'll get to see those photos too. So hang on just a minute, and we'll see some photos. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing those photos and seeing how you can use an ultra wide and do good portraiture. I would shoot some of those shots a little different if I had a full frame camera, but I never needed a full frame camera to make great photos. So we'll leave that story alone. Um, so anyhow, you kind of see what I was doing with that. Now, the photos you're about to see here in a few minutes, uh, same lens. It made it on the ride from China to America. Um, I was shooting. We had a lot of these big cumulus clouds, or whatever you call them. The big clouds were coming in over the part of Lake Conway, an area called Adams Lake, and I knew I could get some good stuff. Even though it was right straight up 1 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever, I knew with my filter on, I could darken the sky just a little bit and get everything to pop. I knew I had a good afternoon ahead, and I was shooting mainly f8, f10. I could have shot f16 if I wanted, but with the CPL filter, I didn't think that I needed it. I shot really, really wide, then I shot some at 28, and you can kind of see the difference in the photos where I brought maybe the same shot, but I brought the trees in closer. But when I widened it out, it gives it more that long exposure look. You see a lot more depth in the cloud when I shot wide, and it's some really pretty stuff. You can just see the clouds just going way back in the background. Got my acoustic mood music going here. I was trying to think of some other stuff special. I said the lens, this is a really good lens. The lens has good resolution. The colors always look good on it. Because it's ultra wide, it's not a bokeh monster or anything. But at 28 millimeters on this lens, I'm shooting the equivalent of a 50 millimeter full frame. And yeah, it takes some good stuff. It's some good stuff. If you shoot it at f4, you can get some good photos. But yeah, what you're going to see is this depth of field with these shots. The reflections are top notch. Now they've been edited. I shot these yesterday, and I sat here yesterday evening editing the photos. But primarily when I edit, I edit these kind of clouds. I want them just to be sharp and clear. And I don't like to use so much contrast. A lot of people try to adjust their sharpness just with contrast. I don't do that. I use iPicky. If you go to iPicky.com, I use what they call equalize image, and I kind of adjust there. Then I might add a little bit of vibrance sometimes. I really don't do that much. But you'll see how I get these things to pop, and I shoot JPEG. These are not, I don't shoot raw. I don't do anything special. I want to take the best picture I can with the camera, then edit that picture. So it's a lot on just how you use your camera. Nikon's famous for really good color. That's one thing I like also. And I'll give you another little editing tip here before we look at these photos. When you're shooting off in the distance and you got the tree lines and everything, often they can be a little dark. And now there's different ways in editing and post-processing to lighten that feature up. But one thing I do, and it works for me great, especially since I'm editing JPEG, I take my iBright brush. I go over and I find the little face, and I go down to what they call iBright, and it's just where they give a shine. If you shoot a picture of an animal and you want to brighten that eye up a little bit, or your model's eye a little bit, I use that little brush, and I go back to that background. I zoom in my background, then I take that little brush and I go dot, 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 dot. Wherever it was green, a lot of times it'll lighten that up just a little bit, but not lose any detail. Then when I pull the picture back out to norm, I got a much better looking picture. So there's something to try. Necessity is the mother of invention. But anyhow, I want you to see more photos of this great little lens. And I just shot these yesterday, so you're going to see some brand new stuff that very, very few people have seen. But I hope you enjoy it. And if you have a Canon or Nikon crop sensor camera, this is a great lens. It's Tokina 12 to 28 f4. They call it, here before we go, it's called the SD 12 to 28 f4 IF internal focus DX lens. It's an ATX Pro lens. So and then when you get it on the box, it'll show it'll say ATX Pro lens. Anyhow, my little push for a pretty good lens, and you get to see some great photos. So have a good day, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep pumping out some videos for you. So subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.